Who would have thought that McLaren will go from this to this? During the 1980s, McLaren teamed up with Honda to achieve a remarkable level of success, winning 4 consecutive Constructors' Championships from 1988 to 1991. Their drivers, Ayrton Senna and Alain Prost, won 3 Drivers' Championships each during this period, cementing their status as one of the most successful partnerships in F1 history. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, McLaren shifted their focus to Mercedes as their engine supplier and continued their success. Under the leadership of team principal Ron Dennis, McLaren won 2 Constructors' Championships in 1998 and 1999, with Mika Hakkinen winning the Drivers' Championship in both years. In the mid-2000s, McLaren introduced innovative technology such as the F-duct in MP424, which enabled their cars to achieve impressive speeds and handling capabilities. These innovations, combined with the driving skills of Lewis Hamilton, made him achieve the first championship with the team. But for over a decade now, McLaren's been struggling with their true performance. They achieved their only perfect result at the 2021 Italian Grand Prix, where Daniel Ricciardo and Lando Norris finished in first and second place. This marked McLaren's first win in almost 10 years and their first 1-2 finish in 11 years since the 2010 Canadian Grand Prix. From 2015 to 2021, McLaren faced a challenging period with mixed results in Formula One. The team struggled with an uncompetitive Honda engine from 2015 to 2017. After a 7-year absence from Formula One, Honda returned to the sport as an engine supplier for the McLaren team. However, their engines proved to be unreliable and caused problems for the team for 3 years. During this period, no McLaren driver was able to achieve a podium finish, and the team's performance was widely criticized not because of drivers, Jenson Button or Fernando Alonso, but because the engine sucked big time. In the Honda era, McLaren finished 9th, 6th, and 9th in the Constructors. In 2018, the team made further progress and finished 6th in the championship, with Fernando Alonso scoring several impressive results, including a 5th place finish at the Australian Grand Prix. Shifting from Honda to Renault in 2018 did improve their performance, but the team did not get their desired results in 2018. In 2019, the team made progress with a new driver lineup featuring Carlos Sainz and Lando Norris. The team finished 4th in the Constructors' Championship that year, with Sainz and Norris scoring several podium finishes. The team was able to finish 4th in the Constructors' Championship with 145 points, behind Red Bull Racing with 417 points. In 2020, McLaren continued to make progress, finishing 3rd in the Constructors' Championship behind Mercedes and Red Bull. The team achieved 2 podium finishes, with Sainz finishing 2nd at the Italian Grand Prix and Norris finishing 3rd at the Austrian Grand Prix. They finished 3rd in the Constructors this time with 202 points, which was a great improvement from last season. In 2021, hopes were high when Daniel Ricciardo joined the team. Not only would they have a proven winner behind the wheel, but also a new engine supplier in Mercedes. With hopes high for more top 3 fireworks, the 2021 season turned out to be a dud. McLaren's inconsistent performance led to a step back and finishing 4th in the Constructors' Championship. However, the lackluster 2021 season did have a bright spot. Norris emerged as a rising star, achieving 3 podium finishes and finishing 8th in the Drivers' Championship, whereas Daniel Ricciardo, who joined the team from Renault, struggled to adapt to the car and finished the season in 11th place in the Drivers' Championship. A 1-2 finish in the Italian Grand Prix did boost the confidence of McLaren, but the overall performance was still not competitive enough. In 2022, Formula One introduced a significant redesign of the cars, which impacted almost every aspect of their performance. The changes included a new aerodynamic design, an improved power unit, and a shift to 18-inch Pirelli tires. All of these were to promote better and close racing. The new 18-inch Pirelli tires have been specifically designed to reduce overheating when they slide, which is expected to improve the quality of racing by allowing closer competition. But who would have thought? A change that was made in the F1 car to promote better racing literally backfired for McLaren. A disappointing start to the 2022 Formula One season for McLaren as they struggled with its new car, the MCL36. Both of its drivers, Lando Norris and Daniel Ricciardo, finished in the bottom 2 places in the season opener, and the team has acknowledged that it has a performance issue. The car suffered front brake cooling problems during testing and lacked performance in the race. Although McLaren's initial feeling was that the car was poorly matched to the circuit, it was sure that there was an underlying issue with the car. Both drivers did not identify any significant issues with the car, but they did notice that the car lacked grip overall. In the 2022 season, McLaren participated in 44 races and scored 24 times, with their best finish being in 3rd place. Out of those 24 scores, Lando scored 17 times, while Daniel only scored 7 times, and never when Lando did not. However, there were 5 races in which the team did not score at all. At the Imola race, Lando achieved a podium finish, which was McLaren's 494th podium in their history, and the 399th race where they recorded a podium. This podium finish was significant, as it was the only time in the 2022 season that the top 3 places were not taken by drivers from the top 3 teams in the Constructors' Championship. During an interview, McLaren's new team principal Andrea Stella shared his thoughts on the team's struggles during the 2022 season. According to Stella, McLaren struggled to adapt to the new 18-inch Pirelli tires as well as their competitors did. The 18-inch tires replaced the previous 13-inch tires, and they were introduced alongside new aerodynamic rules. Stella's assessment suggested that the team's difficulties may have been due, at least in part, to their failure to fully adapt to the new tires and the changes that were brought to the sport. According to Stella, the tires had a significant impact on the behavior of the car, particularly when driving in a straight line, as they provided a strong boost to the front wheels. However, as the drivers steered the car and increased the angle of the front tires, their performance started to deteriorate, and at a certain point their performance dropped rapidly. Stella added both the drivers adapted differently to tire conditions, and during the season, Daniel had a narrower window of comfort with the tires as compared to Lando, which is why Daniel struggled more throughout the season. Due to Daniel's poor performance in 2022, McLaren decided to get rid of him in 2023, and he was replaced by emerging young talent Oscar Piastri. McLaren thought that by getting rid of Daniel and getting a new rookie driver, it would solve their problems. Now it seems that McLaren might have been hiding their car's faults by aiming some of the blame at Daniel. Daniel struggled with the car even despite his win at Monza. After his exit, Lando and Oscar still struggled mostly at the back of the midfield for points. Critics also suspect that due to this they might lose Lando if an offer comes his way from a better performing team. This season's car is on paper a great machine. Analysts say it's the closest in terms of design to the ever-dominant Red Bull. However, we haven't been able to see just how good it is due to the problems they're plagued with. The wheel brows were falling off at testing and in the first race, and in Saudi both drivers lost their front wings in the first few laps, relegating them to the back of the field for the rest of the race. The question in the minds of people and most importantly shareholders will be that till when will this so-called promise of being able to fight at the front finally deliver, if ever?